people see Aaron mixed with clay, but it's an illusion, even as Aaron is not mixed with clay. And whereas thou sawest Aaron mixed with Marie clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of man. So they do try to mix it, but it's not working. Because the wall of enmity between the two seeds is still there. They shall mingle themselves with the seed of man, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as Aaron is not mixed with clay. Now, cleave means to pierce. But also, it has to do with being able to get along. They shall not cleave one to another means they don't get along. But it's also meaning to pierce. And it's talking about the seed, and it's talking about is it possible to make hybrids or not. So there's a show of illusion. And even though they cannot do it, if they can convince people that they could do it, it's good enough to them. Jonathan Click was using another Bible version as he was saying out loud, not even saying the words that he put on screen. And the message was to convince people that we're all hybrid. Okay, this is the point. Okay, this is the argument. This is the whole matter. They wanted people to believe we're all hybrid. Now, change of plan is defending the way of Jonathan Click using those corrupt Bibles, saying there's no issue there. Adhere, cleave, it's...
I don't understand what you're doing. This is from 2020. I'm just... What are you doing, Jonathan? Do you realize how stupid this is?
And let me cut right in here, Jonathan, because I know exactly why I said that, why I asked him if he knew how stupid this was, and I'm sure of it, and that's why I said it. But I do recognize that there might be somebody that wasn't aware of the trick that Jonathan's trying to pull right here, and they might take me saying that it's stupid as being a rather harsh statement for no reason at all. So that should indicate that I have a reason for saying that it's stupid then, right? But it's going to have to be up to them as to whether they agree or not. So let's go back to the olden days, shall we, in which you wrote a comment, well, a bunch of comments actually, but you wrote them to me concerning these very videos, and that includes Daniel 2:43 and the use of the word cleave. And you don't sound nearly as disappointed as you are now. Way back then in 2020, you were very happy about the results of me testing your spirit. Let's read about it. And after I got the third video out there, I started to receive some comments back on it, and it was called Testing Jonathan Nolan's Spirit, Part 3 of 3. And let's see what you wrote, Jonathan. You said, "For I say unto you that this that is written must yet be accomplished in me. And he was reckoned among the transgressors, for the things concerning me have an end." Luke 22:37 KJV. Then he went on to say, "Gene, I was completely wrong, and you pointed out quite easily all the mistakes, and I cannot deny. You are the first and only person amongst the whole lump that did something I couldn't rebuke or fight against. Just leaving you with this thought. In Luke 22:37, Jesus is talking about things concerning him have an end. This would be the only reason I would understand now the parable about the brake issue. I know Google didn't give me all the definitions, and I was led as a mad prophet to my own slaughter. And yet I have my Bible open since a week over to Ezekiel 16 about the judgment upon Israel. My whole testimony is about Jacob being told to go get a cousin for wife to avoid him getting a wife from Cain's seed. Please continue to seek me out and do all the pointing out of factual errors. I still want to know more about what you might find. I said you are Abednego, which also is Azariah. I have not made a mistake choosing you to be my judge, since as mentioned you are the only one that was able to take me off guard, as I took a toll on you in your first video you mentioned as I took you a little bit off guard. Keep the arm stretched up, guard. I want every Christian to see what is happening here. Thank you, Gene, for taking seriously what I asked you to do. Even if you think you have enough, that it's not given you the spirit to go on from what carnage you've already beheld from my fatal flaws in understanding both the scriptures and other true intentions. Luke 18:11 in part 2. You read to me a verse I never before read, the one about the Pharisees. I didn't know it, but the Spirit is willing to compel to vex, and after to gather unto a greater purpose. Believe, I know I'm the one who did the vexing, so as you were willing to clear out in private. Neither it is an admonition or a contradiction, but between the brethren, this is Jesus judging Israel. I said my story is the story of Jacob, and that Jacob is Israel when he is joined with his wife in peace. That is the judgment upon Israel, and not a quarrel over misinterpretations between two brothers. What do you hear now? Okay, and here's another new comment that was Wednesday, July 29th, 2020. It says, new comment on testing Jonathan Nolan's spirit, part 3 of 3. Gene, please continue to judge my spirit to see if there's anything good left after you tested by fire. If you have done your channel the way you did it means you were set to be a judge of the house of Israel. So even if it's sicken you, please go on, because this is where people can gather together. We know at the end it is time of war and a time of separation. I need a double testing from your part. I never expected you to comfort me, but rather to put an end to my misery. I promised I would give the rest also. If you have time on your hands, look again into this mess, and please come up with your ways to shine some light into this darkness. So you're saying you needed a double dose of testing from me? I thought you wanted me to quit, Jonathan. But back then you were just so happy. But now, 4 years later, you just take a little snippet from that one video and you try to make it look like it's some big altercation between the two of us. But here, all that's really happening is that you aren't telling the people the truth of what happened 4 years ago, in 2020, 5 years now. You never told them all these comments you made saying, please test me, please test me. Thank you for testing me. Oh, nobody's ever tested me like that before. Keep on testing me. And so I did. And what do you think, Jonathan? How am I doing so far?